women lead with power and lead with confidence and lead with influence. Quite frankly, our leadership is the future.
The cardiology community hasn't been very friendly for women.
Telling their stories and giving everyone hope is what I'm here to do.
There aren't many Black gay women in the sports business world.
Bow down, call me your majesty. I go zoom, 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 zoom. Call me your
Let me learn from what happened and the mistakes I made.
The needs of women have been under-recognized. Women's health matters.
I was the youngest person there.
I started live streaming on Twitch.
Wherever I am in my journey, it is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
These women are changing the world.
World Women Hour.
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 Your Majesty.
Progress has been made, but every hour, women around the world are still facing inequality when it comes to closing global gender gaps.
Your Majesty. Your Majesty.
your talents in the service of others, not for public exposure. You have the tools to transform society. My name is Carla Iberia Sanchez. I am an investigative reporter from Mexico. When a woman in Central America died because they tried to interrupt a pregnancy with a knife, this is a sign of inequality, and this is a sign of a violence against women, and we cannot keep our mouth shut. Editor of big media doesn't think that story should be in the front page. I am leading change for women in the world and in Latin America, but not let someone to push me to cover just politicians or just scandals. When you put in the front of the page a story nobody wants to talk about, as a reporter, as a women reporter, can change things in society.
When you have a great idea, but there's that little voice in the back of your head that says it might not work, be bold and go for it 100%. My name is Lauren Ridloff, and I'm delighted to be here today. In 2015, the train that I was on catastrophically derailed. I spent the next 2.5 years on total disability. I promised myself that if I was able to go back to work, it was going to be only for something that really mattered. In many, many areas of women's health, there is tremendous unmet need. So the opportunity to help create a brand new company dedicated to women's health, leading outreach policy change, was absolutely tremendous.
I think it's so critical that women prioritize their own health to realize their potential. I'm Helene Gale, President and CEO of the Chicago Community Trust. I think it's so important to recognize that women play so many different roles as mothers, as wives, as workers, and oftentimes do put their own needs on the back burners. Can we make sure that there are health services that are accessible more than just where are clinics located? It's, what are the hours? Who are the caregivers? Do they understand the needs? All these things make a bigger difference in the long run. I am leading change for women by focusing on the many ways in which I think women can be leaders for our world.
Nos resignamos a no entender de que teníamos derecho. Mi nombre es Petita Yarza, soy una de las primeras mujeres que ejerce en la comarca Cunayala el papel de diputada parlamentaria. Desde niña, yo veía a las mujeres que se quedaban y era para el matrimonio. Yo decía, ¿por qué no puede ser? Cuando mis padres me traen a la ciudad, me decía mi amiga, en un futuro yo voy a ser bióloga. Y yo me quedaba viendo y yo decía, ¿qué yo voy a hacer? Cuando llega mi hija, ahí sí, yo decía, no, yo tengo que hacer que mi hija sea más. Así que yo entendí en esos momentos que yo misma me tenía que abrir las puertas. Viene de ahí en mi pasión de ayudar a mis mujeres, ayudar a las comunidades, a mis niñez, para poder defender los derechos de las mujeres. Es importante la participación de todos.
Women's healthcare has to improve. The needs of women have been under-recognised.
I'm Anne Connolly. I'm a GP with special interest in gynecology, and I'm the chair of the Primary Care Women's Health Forum.
I was in hospital when I was very young, so I'd always wanted to be in the medical profession. At the Primary Care Women's Health Forum, we acknowledge the needs of the multidisciplinary team. We know each of us can bring something to the table. As women, we have choices about our health, but we can't make those choices unless we get the information that we need. Women's health matters. We need to make sure women get the care where they want it. It's not just about doctors. It's about all of us working as a team to deliver the right care for the right person at the right place at the right time.
I learned to not let the fear of failure hold me back on my scientific journey. My name is Sylvia Thun. I'm a professor at Charité University Medicine Berlin for digital medicine and interoperability. Women are underrepresented in data and in clinical trials, 94% of data from men. This is dangerous for women. I'm passionate about solving problems here with digital health solutions because I wanted to heal patients with new technologies. So the She Health Network is about trying to find solutions for the gender pay gap, for instance. We want to help women to be more visible in this field and to have better data with no bias.
Failures are necessary to move forward, but at the end, it's a matter of trying in a different way and working harder. My name is Maria Blasco. I am a molecular biologist and a biochemist. I am the director of the Spanish National Cancer Center. When I learned about molecular biology, I realized it was the science of understanding life at the molecular level. So for me, it was the best way, really, to understand the origin of diseases and to be able to develop treatments for 3 diseases that are still incurable. When I started, I didn't know whether I was going to succeed or not. I think an important thing is that you really like the field that you are working in. Estoy liderando el cambio para las mujeres científicas, haciendo que haya unos horarios más flexibles en la institución que dirijo. Pienso que es muy importante que las mujeres estén representadas por igual en todos los niveles de la ciencia.
En la sociedad todavía hay una deuda histórica para que más mujeres nos visibilicemos y abramos camino. Soy Nadia Sánchez, presidenta de la Fundación She Is. Siempre vi a mi mamá ayudar a más mujeres y niñas y ahí es cuando fundo She Is Foundation con un lema importante de potencializar a todas esas mujeres y niñas con sus talentos, con nuevas oportunidades y lograr el acceso a salud universal. El mayor superpoder de cada mujer es poder mirar hacia atrás y ver cuántas mujeres has ayudado a brillar. Estamos cambiando el mundo y hoy ustedes pueden hacer parte de una manera tan sencilla y es creer en sus sueños, porque tú puedes ser todo lo que quieras ser en la medida en que creas y sobre todo que luches por esos sueños y esos ideales.
I'm leading change for women by fighting and advocating for equity and equal rights. My name is Marlene Temmerman. I'm a medical doctor and I'm a professor in obstetrics and gynecology. As a young girl, I was always interested in why is there so much inequity, and that is a leitmotif throughout my journey. I think I have done more than 18,000 deliveries. Unfortunately, I had 72 girls or women who died of unsafe abortion. It has given me that motivation to say this cannot happen again. There is still a lot to be done. If we see injustice or inequity, don't turn a blind eye, fight it for a better world.
We have made a lot of progress. Still, female patients are often treated like male patients.
My name is Angela Maas. I'm a professor in cardiology for women.
In the 80s, the standard was the male patient, and I realized that I couldn't answer the questions of my female patients properly. It wasn't easy to bring a new way of gender-sensitive cardiology. Women should have more leading positions in healthcare. We now have a very big network to support each other, so by joining together, we are bringing healthcare for women to a higher level. Don't hesitate if you can get a more leading position. Just go for it, and you will manage.
Don't blame me, I'm obeying my will, and I will do anything I like. I've been lost, couldn't figure how to get my head straight. Twisted up like I was stuck up in a maze, but now I want more. That's what I'm here for. It hit me in my core. I can't be held back anymore, 'cause I'm in control. Going in full force, busting up, of course. I'm priceless, I know what I'm worth. When I say move, you move. When I say groove, get loose, baby, you don't get to choose. Better get in line, I got a plan in mind. Say you move. When I say groove, get loose, so you think you're talking to. I'm one-on-one, I get what I want, yeah. I get what I want, I get what I want. Like all of the time, like all of the. I get what I want, I get what I want. I'm like a capitán, like a piece. I get what I want, I get what I want. Like all of the time, like all of the. I get what I want, I get what I want. I'm like a capitán, like a piece. That's what I'm here for. It hit me in my core. I can't be held back anymore, 'cause I'm in control. Going in full force, busting up, of course. I'm priceless, I know what I'm worth. When I say move, you move. When I say groove, get loose, baby, you don't get to choose. Better get in line, I got a plan in mind. You move. When I say groove, get loose, so you think you're talking to. I'm one-on-one, I get what I want, yeah. I get what I want, I get what I want. Like all of the time, like all of the. I get what I want, I get what I want. I'm like capitán, like a piece. I get what I want, I get what I want. Like all of the time, like all of the. I get what I want, I get what I want. I'm like capitán, like a piece. What I want when I want it.
Every hour, national parliaments or legislatures are making important decisions. And worldwide, only 24.3% of these key people are women.
Hey, what's up? I'm Lena Bloom. I work as an actress, model, and activist. I grew up in Chicago, moved to New York City when I was 17. I just knew that that's where people, especially brown and queer women, could be themselves. I wanted to be part of that cultural shift before anyone knew that it was happening. People saw me as like, okay, here's this black girl, here's this trans, who is this, you know? And they looked at me as someone that didn't deserve the opportunity. I took those words and I said, you know what? All these negative things that you said, I'm gonna put a crown on it. I'm gonna show you how powerful and how beautiful and how effortless this experience is. And I'm going to invite you to think differently. It's about communication. You know, communication heals everything. It starts with patience and it starts with just speaking up. I needed those bruises, those falling downs to get up. I needed those try again the next time, because it's honestly allowed me to build a stronger armor. You know, understand that all those no's create a huge big yes. And thank you for challenging me, because I needed that. Through following my dreams, I was able to make history a few times, and not only just do that for myself, but do it for my community, do it for queer bodies, brown and black bodies all around the world, and put us in a position where we can speak up and not be silenced. Outside of the color, outside of the gender, outside of the class, we're all connected, and none of us are failures. Let's learn from each other. Woman, world, our world, woman, our, this the flow. We the baddest with the glow. If you can't take it, then you don't really wanna know. I'm honored to be part of the World Women Hour, because you matter, I matter, and we need each other. It's a female team looking supreme.
If there's something that moves you, it's okay to cry. Share yourself.
be vulnerable. Leadership to me is being yourself. I'm Brenda Cooperstone, and I'm the Chief Development Officer for Rare Disease at Pfizer. The last medicine that I brought forward, with all the information that I learned about that disease, I was able to help my family understand that my father was actually suffering from that rare disease. Rare disease is all about that one patient and that one family. I didn't know when I began that one patient would actually be my father. My passion comes from wanting to make that difference. I really just want other people to have the benefit of a treatment that's going to make every day better, that's going to give them more time with their kids. I think every failure is really a point of empowerment. In order to have people follow, they need to know you, they need to understand you, they really need to see you for who you are.
Education is a human right. Anyone who desires to access it should have access to it.
My name is Kishia Thorpe, and I'm an English teacher at the International High School, Langley Park.
While I was at Howard University, I had an opportunity to mentor and tutor students. The school that they were attending did not offer them the best chance at life. I really could relate to them, and I really wanted to pass the baton of education on and hopefully help them to break their cycle of poverty. The students that I now teach are male immigrants and refugees, and 100% of them are English language learners. Through my nonprofit organization, students are able to graduate from college with a degree debt-free and just also contribute to a better way of life for themselves and their families. I really want to produce global citizens and really help to change the world.
Empowerment is like a trickle of water. If you leave it on long enough, it will begin to overflow with opportunity. My name is Shanavia Rocker, change maker, daughter, sister, mom, and chief people officer at Under Armour. What I see with so many women is that we spend so much time juggling work and life and other family commitments in a way that our male counterparts never do. There's the spectrum of mental health challenges, but one of the ones where I focus my attention on is really women and being okay saying, I need a time out, and making sure that we have leaders who care enough to create space for people to still be deemed worthy of leadership, even when you're going through a moment in time. I want to make sure that women feel empowered to renegotiate the terms and conditions of motherhood, the terms and conditions of relationship, so we all feel like we're in this together. Without your voice, the world can't move forward.
It always used to be, you can't be what you can't see. The fact that there are women right now who are crushing it, it is important that when you are in a room, you realize that you are representing many. My name is Raven Jemison, Executive Vice President of Business Operations. There aren't many Black gay women in the sports business world. I feel a responsibility to carry that weight and carry the crown high. As a number 2, I have more influence than I've ever had. I've used and tried to use that influence to make sure when conversations on talent acquisition are happening, we're talking about the full gamut of what a human being can bring to our organization. It's one thing to walk in and say, yeah, it's great that I have my seat at this table, but are you extending the table so people that look like you, that love like you, can also sit there and have an easier time? Women lead with power and lead with confidence. Quite frankly, our leadership is the future.
I'm building a business that has a mission behind it that could change the world, but also be a really big business. I am Carolyn Childers, the co-founder and CEO of Chief. Chief gives access to a ton of programming and workshops and coaches, but at the end of the day, what it really is a community of people going on that journey together. It's gonna take 200 years before we get to equity. That made me say, like, okay, this is a problem that I could go and dedicate my life to. We wanna just make sure that everybody that joins Chief is aware that there is an ecosystem that helped get you to where you are, and to make sure that you don't close that door behind you and that you're always thinking about how you can help others. I am leading change for women by driving more women into positions of leadership and keeping them there. Let's change the face of leadership. Just take the leap and you will find your landing.
Leading to me is being considerate of those that are around you, being fearless, being authentic is the most important. Hi, my name is Tracy Odie Blunt, and I'm founder and principal of Blunt Group Strategies. My story starts with a career that has spanned politics, sports, nonprofit, and it all ties back into what I can do to empower women while I've been in all of these spaces. And doing everything to ensure that what legacy I leave behind is to show my 9-year-old daughter she can be anything that she wants to be. One of the things that I pride myself on is leading conversations that make change happen. When we are looking to create a strategy, it is very, very important that we take into consideration all aspects of who we're talking to and who's delivering that message.
Not every woman has accessible examples of success. It's really hard to be successful if you don't even know what it looks like. I'm Amy Du Bois Barnett, and I'm a media executive and author. At a young age, my mom died, and it just impacted every single part of my life. It really changed my entire trajectory. And the way that's manifested itself throughout my career is really telling the stories of underrepresented communities. I mentor women, I mentor girls. I care deeply about making sure that everything that I'm doing in this world is creating opportunities for the women that come after me. Helping women realize their dreams helped me understand that you really have ownership over your own trajectory, and if you don't follow your passions, you can't move yourself into a life of happiness.
With more women in the healthcare system, there is more empathy and more patient-centered care. Hi, my name is Nathalie Massin. I'm a reproductive endocrinologist. After 15 years of reproductive medicine, I was still upset on all of failures, especially when I met couples who came too late. The decline in the birth rate is mainly due to the postponing of the pregnancy. They also are exposed to a decline in fertility caused by environmental toxics. Being aware of what is possible allows women to make more informed decisions. After having raised my 2 children and developed my own reproductive journey, I felt empowered, in fact, to take action and go further. I developed a school for ultrasound training and female fertility exploration. The lesson is to never give up. I am honored to be a part of World Women Hour.
Hi there, I'm Brooke Baldwin. I am a veteran journalist, a best-selling author of Huddle, and a storyteller. I wanted a front row seat to history, and that's essentially what launched me into what has been a 20-plus year career. I was in my young 30s when I got this job, and I was fighting and, over-preparing as we women sort of tend to do, especially when you're sharing the airwaves with someone as veteran as Wolf Blitzer. Newsflash, you are going to fail and fail again. To me, life is about the recovery. Let me tell you this, they actually rejected me as an intern at CNN, and I remember calling the guy in charge of interns at CNN, it was summer of '99, and essentially taught my way into this internship. And interned with a TV show called Travel Now. It's long since defunct, but it was run by a woman, it was hosted by a woman. As a storyteller, I'm very interested in the presence of women. I believe in my bones that more and more women need to be on boards, be in charge of, be leading newsrooms, be calling the editorial shots. I am leading change for women by putting women at the center of the story as often as I possibly can, by giving voice to those who feel they don't have one, by starting cultural conversations that maybe you wouldn't normally have, and by giving people hope. I am honored to be part of World Woman Hour.
We try to put this poem away when it's easier not to speak, when we fear we are asking too much and should celebrate our silver linings instead of questioning the clouds, when we believe we can't be leaders unless we're harsh, unless we're loud. We try to sweep this poem under carpets, try to dissolve it in our tea, try to drink down every word and keep on living quietly. But this poem melts through fabric, turns corrosive, spits and burns. This poem keeps on speaking to a world that never learns. Because there are women still victim to abuse, crushed by hands that once claimed to love them. Because there are women uprooted by conflict, by violence, by the roar of our climate. Because women are still dying in childbirth, absent for first birthdays, aqiqahs and christenings. Here, Black women die 5 times more often for lack of urgency, lack of care, lack of listening. We're accustomed to underrepresentation, of working harder for trust and respect, face-to-face and online degradation and mounted pressure with the chances we get. Even robots are deleting women's CVs, copying our warped system perfectly. Because worlds that work against women are allowed by leading boards that lack women. And we keep asking until we're tired. We talk of change until it's easier not to speak. But the poem has its own mouth, relentless in the change it seeks, believes in better will turn a question into a shriek. But it doesn't want to scream. This poem is a dream, where everyone has abundant opportunity, valuing multiple views and empathy. This poem is a house with no glass ceiling, no roof, where we learn to speak to the open sky. When the sun shines, we give life to each voice, each question. When it rains, we collect, gather, shield ourselves and each other, making justice our language, our culture, generosity. When it's too dark to see, we stack and mountain, holding each other up, knowing every one of us is vital, until one of us can pluck a star from the sky, until we make our own sun, until our dreamscape becomes a universe. There's a world better for all of us together, a world with compassion and opportunity. And this poem speaks to you and me from many mouths, from many mounts that seemed unclimbable, calling down to us you can reach whatever your heart can hold. This poem is the first girl in her family to get an education. This poem is a politician fighting for fairer legislation. This poem is a mother raising leaders in her home. This poem is a scientist with hypothesis on the dome. She's a counselor freeing space where our doubts and traumas hide. This poem is a doctor, a midwife, she's a spiritual guide. She's a freedom fighter, she's an activist. She's a future we can touch. Dreaming for what we all deserve is never too much.
Every hour, women in the US earn 81 cents for each dollar earned by men. A gap that represents inequality in the kinds of work women do.
My name is Shohreh Aghdashloo. I started acting when I was 19 years old, but never bothered to study politics. It wasn't in our DNA in Iran, let's say that, in my birth country. So I thought the best thing is to leave everything behind and get myself educated. February 28, 1978, I jumped into my car at 4 a.m. and drove cross countries to the UK right before the revolution. And I enrolled in a university. I managed to get my BA in 1984. When you become an icon to a certain nation or to certain people, whether you like it or not, you feel responsibility. That's why when I started acting, one thing I promised myself was that I would never get myself involved with projects that I don't believe in. All I'm trying to do is live by the examples that grandma, my mother, my father taught. It's been 100 years now that American ladies have the right to vote. On the surface, it looks like, wow, men and women, we were all working together, but there's still prejudice. There's still, misogyny there. We need to be supportive of one another, and make it easier for each other to become successful. No matter who becomes successful, it will be the success of all of us. When a woman travels to the moon or takes a shuttle to Mars, I feel proud. She is my representative up there. So let's think of one another as a representative. I am honored to be a part of World Woman Hour.
There's no limitations to me because obviously I'm defying the odds of limits. Hi, my name is Kanya Sesser and I'm a skater, model, actress, and motivational speaker. I love showing people that just because I don't have legs doesn't mean that I'm lesser than anybody else. And I was found on the side of the road in Pak Chong, Thailand. When they put me into the hospital, I was raised by nurses that were like my mother. Everyone wonders of like how I'm so strong. And to be honest, I feel like it's the women that actually took care of me. And then not just that, but my adopted mother showed me how I need to do things on my own. Time is valuable. I don't want to waste time at all. Be outside and go to the mountains and just be like, wow, I'm breathing and I'm living today and just feel everything. Leading to me is limitless. No legs, no limits. With the power of what you have, anything is possible.
I went to India. I met this 3-year-old girl. I just hold her in my arms to warm her. I vow that I will come back and give my life to the underprivileged children. My name is Shohreh Aghdashloo. I'm the president and founder of Mother Miracle School for Underprivileged Children. I sold my house. I have 50,000 square feet building that I bought the land with my personal money. I get up in the morning and I know that 600 children looking for me to come to the school. Don't mess with my girls. I believe in myself and I can accomplish anything I put my mind and heart in. That's why I teach to my girls. Do not be scared. Just keep going forward. Every time you fail is a step towards success.
What I want is a fundamental revolution in how we do humanitarian assistance, not just in the United States, but in the world. My name is Ann Lee, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of CORE. I think people see us predominantly as like this emergency relief operation, which we are. But again, we're very sensitive to not just bringing materials and then walking away. You know, we're looking at the conditions that created that situation in the first place, and how do we make sure that you leave that community better than what they were before. And that transformed that community fundamentally. Listen, learn, and act. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Do your piece. Leading to me, it's a calling. And if I can make people's lives better, then I have to.
Failure doesn't exist. Every setback, every mistake is an opportunity to continue to learn and grow. Hi, I'm Michelle Arkuski, and I'm the executive director for She Is the Music. I started as an assistant for a different nonprofit called Stand Up to Cancer, and Alicia Keys' foundation came and they were looking for someone to oversee the nonprofit, and my CEO, who was also a woman, advocated for me to get that position and really empower me to be able to have the role that I have today, especially for women in music. I would say check out the work of women that you don't know. Check out the work of women of color that you don't know. You could be providing an opportunity for the growth of someone else.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I'm Gina Beidenok, and I'm a photographer and a social entrepreneur. Photography was really the tool that enabled me to connect with the world I was very curious to discover. There's so many voices out there that want to be heard. We hadn't thought that blind people had a voice through a visual media. But actually, it's not only what you see that makes you click. There's something you feel and you want to communicate. My intuition has been my best ally in this journey. Suddenly, I was doing what I loved. Teaching photography, giving a voice to people who were not being seen, connecting the sighted and the blind people. I was creating my own path. It's so important to own our stories and not be afraid to show up. Follow your dreams and keep being playful, always. I am honored to be part of World Woman Hour because I get to be part of a bigger constellations of stars, teaching women and girls around the world.
Power unused is power useless, so use yours wisely. I'm Gloria Felt. I am co-founder and president of Take the Lead. I am the author of 5 books. The latest is called Intentioning. When I was growing up in those small towns in Texas, we were the only Jewish family. And so I had this feeling of being other. I hated that. And that was one of the reasons why when I was a teenager, my rebellion was to go try to be like everybody else. But as I got older, I realized what a gift it was to have had that experience. And that is what gave me the sense of values that I have and led me to work for social justice. That thing that you think is your weakness can actually turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. I'm leading change for women by making sure that we have equal pay, equal power, and equal positions by 2025. I'm honored to be a part of World Woman Hour.
You have to be educated, you have to be able to defend your own rights, but also be able to take that decision, especially in communities like mine.
My name is Marcina Bronfman, and I'm the executive director of Learn Afghanistan. I'm a social and political rights activist.
I grew up as a subconscious teacher, I would say, because we had a school in our own house for Afghan refugee girls. I remember the first thing that they asked me was like, I want to be you so I can study more. I could take a flight and go meet the president. That was the first time I realized that education is not accessible to every other girl. And we registered Learn. We worked with them in bio, physics, chemistry, mathematics, English. But why is it important? You could become an independent person. You could earn your own money. You could make your own decisions. You could look after your own family. I want to be more like a facilitator, making sure that we empower them to become their own voices.
I won't ever fail. I'm either going to win or I'm going to learn, no matter what. My name is Christina Ray, and I am a performing artist. My performing artist life comes from a lot of love for music, but more love for life and my child. I've been told so many times I'm not the perfect fit, not small enough, not tall enough. And I write songs from everything that people have told me I'm not. And I'm realizing that I am is one of the biggest statements of your life. Whenever you title I am, that's what you are. Leading to me is being genuine. Being a woman comes with a lot of responsibility. So create your own garden by loving yourself. It is okay to be yourself.
Hey, I am Tegan. I'm Sara's sister. I'm Sara, and we are in a band, Tegan and Sara. We didn't necessarily have like a band philosophy, but over many years we started to really develop a political voice, and we figured out how to sort of use our platform as a band. We used to say we were like the gay bar that night. We really wanted the shows to feel inclusive and comfortable and safe for people.
Often seeing a lot of like homophobia and misogyny and sexism quite blatantly, like in articles and reviews of us in like major magazines and media. Told by agents that you can't have other women open for you because you can't have more than one woman on a bill or the ticket won't sell.
99% of the people who are doing film scores and television scores are men. 99%. Statistics are amazing. You know, we can really see that there is a drastic gap in the way that women are participating in the music industry.
So it would be great if all the men out there who have bands and production companies and studios hired women.
We are leading change for women by ensuring that any work that we do, we are always engineering a team and space that is at least 50% women, by paying women as much or more than men, by making sure that we are always thinking broadly about what women's causes are, not just about the causes that affect us as women. Tegan and I are just so honored to be included and to be speaking to all of you today. We are fighting for the things that we deserve, and we are fighting to hold up the history of the people that came before us and did all of that important work. We are so proud to be a part of World Women Hour, and I just feel very grateful and humbled to be here.
Every hour, as many as 48.1% of girls remain out of school in some regions.
Hi, I'm Hannah Bronfman. I'm a wellness entrepreneur, content creator, and author. A lot of change needs to be made in venture capital. Bringing diversity and inclusion into startup world is the way of the future. We know that women of color and women in general get the least amount of venture fund, and I know that firsthand. These statistics are disheartening, yet we know that women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, and it's time that we change these stats. I've invested now in 38 companies run by females, including women of color. Execution is underrated. I mean, people talk a big game. It doesn't come to life unless you are able to execute on it. How do I know my passion? What is it that I meant to do? Sometimes you just don't know. If you've got the hustle, you can make anything happen for yourself. I think you just have to think outside of the parameters. I'm leading change for women by investing in women-run companies and startups and bringing access to capital to females. Women of color are underrepresented, and therefore you don't get to see that many role models that might look like you. But at the end of the day, you can be that for someone else. I'm honored to be a part of World Women Hour.
Advice that I would give to somebody starting off in their career would be the importance of prioritizing. You can only have one top priority. And lucky for me, I founded Baked by Melissa when I was 24 years old, and I made it my topmost priority. I'm Melissa Benishai. I actually became CEO of Baked by Melissa 2 years ago. I hope that the world will gain happiness from the work I do. I mean, I work to make people happy with my bite-sized cupcakes. I love to work hard. To me, the definition of success is working hard towards the things that you love. Every time you make a mistake, you get to learn and you get to decide if there's something you could do differently in the future to impact a different result. I think without those mistakes, you don't have opportunities. You have to embody the person you want to be. And that's actually how you become a better version of yourself.
Most PPE companies take men's boots or men's jackets, make them smaller and make them pink. So I was so frustrated to wear those clunky boots that never fit right and were a safety hazard on the shop floor. Hi there, my name is Anna Kraft and I'm the founder of Xena Workwear. I started Xena Workwear after working in manufacturing for many years. I absolutely hated to wear men's boots to work. It's already difficult enough for women to fit into the more male-dominated industries. Having poorly fitting PPE is just an unnecessary barrier that I wanted to remove so women can feel confident in the clothes they have and focus on the job. Follow your passion, think about the things that give you joy and energize you, or think about all the things that you're incredibly frustrated by. I used to think that you have to be fearless, but it's almost impossible to be fearless. Try something uncomfortable anyways and be daring.
I found the very early days of entrepreneurship very similar to the early days of motherhood. You just have a million questions and you're hoping that someone out there is going to be gracious enough to help answer them. Hi, I'm Katya Libin and I'm the co-founder of Hey Mama. Hey Mama is a social and professional network for working moms. We took the leap of faith so we could solve a problem that we felt so strongly that needed to be fixed for us and for thousands of other women. I remember waking up every day and feeling this passion and this huge fire under my butt to go out and figure it out. Celebrating how incredible this demographic of women are and how we need to really move away from any previous notions of what a mother is. I hope the world starts to realize that moms are unstoppable and most importantly that motherhood is not a disadvantage.
You have to be willing to outwork and stick to the vision and to your gut that you feel confident in. My name's Natalie White, I'm 23, and I'm the founder of Moolah Kicks. When I went to college, I really realized there was no one in this industry that prioritized women's basketball. It feels like almost everyone has considered women's basketball to be a JV version of men's varsity. And so when I was a senior in college, I founded Moolah Kicks, the first brand that is by and for female basketball players, that is fighting for gender equality and being a vehicle that prioritizes and champions women's basketball. Tons of people tell me that this is never gonna happen, but now we are on the shelves of one of the biggest retailers in the world.
Take charge, be in control. Anything and everything you want is ahead of you.
My name is Lisa Simonson and I run the Simonson team. I was enjoying what I was doing, but always wanting to push myself to the next step. Someone suggested real estate, and at the same time as transferring, I was also still a trainer, so I'd be, changing my Louis Vuitton shoes and then putting my sneakers on and rushing off and training clients. What I was good at was selling. People trusted me. Just then it was lifestyle with fitness and influencing people on their health, and now it's influencing people on business decisions in real estate. It never feels like work because I really am very passionate about what I do and I love it.
Anyone who is younger and looking for guidance, take responsibility for your own life. Don't give other people power to direct your future.
I want to build a solution that helps educate girls who do not have access to education. Technology is the strongest catalyst for change that we have today. My name is Shohreh Aghdashloo, and I'm a champion of innovation and technology. We get into the big communal issues like teenage pregnancy, or women have a lot of health issues in rural areas. So if you really make ground for a strong woman or a young girl getting educated, I think there is a lot we can solve right there at the foundation level. Imagine that we bring technology to her, draws out 1 hour every day to go on her device and actually continue with her education. We have tools, we have process, we have people, we have technology. Take all the skills and wisdom that we all have and really put in that effort to drive the massive change that this world needs.
We need to recognize that women can be leaders and they can change the world just like men. And it's because we've always been able to do those things.
My name is Eva Goycochea, and I'm the founder and CEO of MOD, a modern sexual wellness company. It is a male-dominated industry. And then I'm also Latina. There's 10 of us that have raised over $10 million. 10. One thing that women can do to make change is to not give up. Our take is not about sex and like handing you a condom and commoditizing it. It's really about creating this intimate world that feels comfortable and safe. Leading, to me, it's about building team. It's not about me, it's about all of us together. If you have that calling, be tough and go for it. I'm ready to be in the era of leadership for all. If we don't do it, no one's gonna do it for us.
I am leading change for women by continuing to write and speak through my own and others' discomfort. Hi, my name is Serena Yang, and I am a poet, student, and activist. Writing, and especially poetry, has always been about overcoming my own self-doubt. I didn't have the confidence in my own voice and my own ability, but my community did. I think that having a community that you trust is really important, and it was because of this community of people that believed in my voice before I ever did that I kept writing and that I kept telling my story. Thinking about police violence has always been a part of my social justice consciousness. I think that it's important that we speak and that we break our silences, even if it's uncomfortable. I want to live in a future where my people feel safe. So much of justice work requires an imagination. It requires to dream and believe in that dream. I'm honored to be a part of World Women Hour because none of us can do this work alone.
Hi, my name is Maya Higa. I'm the executive director of Alvea Sanctuary, which is an exotic animal sanctuary and conservation education nonprofit, and I'm a live streamer on twitch.tv. I grew up on a farm in the Bay Area in California, so I've always been around animals. In college, I also got my falconry license and I started rehabilitating birds of prey. And in April of 2019, I started live streaming on Twitch. I made conservation education the focus of my channel, and I'm working on bringing other streamers, other content creators to my facility so that they can meet the animals and we can combine audiences to teach as many people as possible about conservation and about what they can do for our planet. I think one of the biggest problems that we have with our planet is people can't care about what they don't know about. So the education is what it starts with for me. My strategy for getting people inspired about conservation is helping them make attachments to specific species so that they care about what happens to them. I just want people to know about what's going on, because if they know what's happening to our planet, they're gonna wanna do something. There are mammals that depend on this water. The hardest part for me is being taken seriously. I think you kind of have to take an extra step to make yourself look like you really mean it. I feel the most powerful when I'm teaching people about something that I love and when I feel like an expert. There's very few people doing conservation education, so I'm really excited to be paving that path. Leading to me is helping inspire and helping to guide people into the power that they already have. Everybody has potential and everybody has power that they just need to step into. I was able to do that by learning what I was passionate about and just following what gave me energy. It doesn't matter what people think you should be doing to find your lane and to find what you're passionate about and really put your head down and follow it. I'm honored to be a part of World Women Hour.
I began again and again. For a long time, I thought I did not know how to stand my ground. Instead, I learned to hold my breath. I learned to hold my own air, even when no one had thought to save me a place. I learned to stand on a compliment, a glance, a smile, a hand to hold. I do not stand my ground, I give. By give, I mean I make new. I make something of grief. I begin from a scrap of love or a grain of sand. I know every love poem to be an elegy. Even in elegy, I begin again and again, until we become song and prelude. Where are you from? Sometimes I say my country. Sometimes I say another country that is also my country. Sometimes I say the name of a place I've only dreamed of. In first grade, the teacher asks, and I say, my mother. I know for sure that I come from my mother. I feel small and certain. A list of dreams that arrived at the threshold of my waking. Audrey and June and Merle, and the stranger who lit a candle for Songyang, then stepped close to shield me from the rain. My first love, my two aunts, their sisters, and the woman they love. The girl in the movie, the magazine, the one who stitched a yellow patch onto my favorite jeans, the one who unfurled at my touch like the flag of a free people. Here is what it's like to love a woman. On March 16th, I become transparent. On March 13th, my blood grows thick with violence. On November 25th, my body becomes an offering. On February 13th, I read the word temptation again. I become opaque and flickering. Here is what it's like to be a woman. To have a rage like a light that makes all who love her move. To have a name. To be the culmination of a million women who dreamed the future into being. To be daughter to Angela and Margot and Teresa, to Yuri and Grace and Gloria, and all the love they wrote into the world. One morning, when the sky was bloated with blue water, I took out my pen. I know only how to write, how to keep this mouth open, how to be a safe passage for the woman I love. I extend my hand, I hold my breath, and feel your heart in my chest. And like this, I begin. I arrive like a dream at the threshold of the world waking. My mouth open around a song saying, I love, who do you love? I am, who is your daughter? I will, what do your women dream about?
Every hour, 1 in 5 girls globally reside in households living on less than 7 cents an hour. Not enough for adequate food, housing, healthcare, or education.
My name is Damilola Ogumbi, and I am the CEO and Special Representative of the Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All. I don't do comfortable. All the roles that I've been in, it's because they have looked impossible. I wanted to show a different aesthetic of what an African woman can bring to the table in the energy space. I had just done a project where we gave electrical power to a hospital. The nurse said was like, do you understand what you've done? It only takes 7 seconds for a mother or baby or both to die if the power cuts out during an operation. That is what people's lives are. Some people forget that energy is life itself. It's the difference between life and death for millions of people. It's part of my drive to show people around the world that this is a crisis and this is an emergency of what's happening in the developing countries. And since all these issues really, the burden of it is really on the African continent, it was very, very important for me to showcase their responses from African women, and they have to be part of the solutions that are coming out, unless frankly anything won't work if that isn't taken into consideration. I'm leading change for women by showcasing just how important, strong, and powerful African women are in the energy development space. You're all able to make a difference today. A lot of you listening are probably like climate activists. It's really great if you become energy activists as well. Understand what's happening in your local community, understanding ways you can actually help at the smallest level. Switch things off, turn them off if you don't need them. The more energy we can save, the more energy we can give to other people. I'm honored to be part of World Women Hour.
I think it's really important for us to die to the notions of us being women business owners and to live for us just being business owners. Beatrice Dixon, co-founder and CEO of the Honey Pot Company. The Honey Pot Company is a plant-derived, all-encompassing brand that revolves around the vulva and the vagina. There are humans of vaginas that don't consider themselves to be women. They may be non-binary and don't identify with being anything but human. But Honey Pot wants to be the brand that educates that human too. When you're going into a room to talk to an investor, most of the time it's men. It's essential for us to know our worth and for us to do it like we mean it. Why not go for the billions? Why not go for the hundreds of millions? Why not? Forget about the fact that you're a woman. None of that matters. What matters is that you believe in yourself and that you can do it just as good as anybody else can.
You don't have to be the fastest and the strongest climber to get to the top of a mountain. You just have to be absolutely relentless about putting one foot in front of the other. I'm Allison Levine. I'm a mountaineer, a polar explorer, a New York Times bestselling author, and a leadership development expert. Once you get out into these extreme environments, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. You know, Mount Everest doesn't know what gender you are. In 2001, I got a phone call asking me if I wanted to serve as the team captain for the first American women's Everest expedition. We actually had to turn around less than 300 feet from the summit. We got caught in bad weather. It took me 8 years to get up the guts to go back to the mountain again. And when I finally went back and made it, the only reason I made it to the summit in 2010 is because I had that failure under my belt. You can move forward in the face of fear. And when you do that, you can climb any mountain.
The most important thing is to approach every situation with a curiosity to learn and the compassion and courage to drive the change. Hi, I'm Bhavani Amirthalingam and I'm the Chief Digital Information Officer at Amarin. Energy is such a fundamental human right. Providing access to reliable, clean power is going to be fundamentally different in the next 30 years. Being able to do that transition at scale is a really important aspect of where the industry is headed. What I look forward to doing is helping the quality of life in the communities that I live in. I'm honored to be part of World Women Hour, and I really hope I can be an inspiration for young girls to follow their passion.
I have an absolute passion and a sense of urgency to create an impact in the world around me. My name is Danal Dalglish, Director for Sustainable Development and Academy at Schneider Electric. I'm a South African citizen, and looking at the high level of unemployment and unskilled youth in the country really gave me an urgency to look into this global crisis that is existing. There seems to be a large gender equality issue in terms of practical training for skills in the field of energy. What Schneider Electric is looking at doing is really bringing gender equality in this very exciting space so that we can look towards having a more equal society. For ladies also doing practical training in the field of energy, we create access to energy solutions that bring energy to the lives of people, as well as train youth on how to use this equipment and how to also start a career in the field of energy. When the lights go on for people, life is on for people.
The wildlife is our tomorrow's heritage. If we leave the animals unprotected, in few years to come, we'll be left with nothing. My name is Nyaradzo Auxilia Otto. I am a sergeant for the all-female Akashinga Rangers here in Zimbabwe. In Africa, it's a big deal for women, so I'm very empowered with the responsibilities that I've been given as a leader. We are not just conserving nature. We are changing the world by empowering the ladies. I'm an example to the world that no job is meant for men. Women can also be wildlife protectors. Sometimes for you to succeed, you need to get through some failures, and all what is needed is for you to pick up yourself, then you go. Women can change the world and women can lead. Nothing is impossible. If I have done it, why you not?
Your Majesty.
Yes, I'm an engineer, and engineers are not only men. My name is Sophie Born. I am the Senior Vice President for our digital power business at Schneider Electric. A lot of the electricity that is used today is wasted. At Schneider, we get to invent a greener future with greener buildings, greener industry, greener data center, and it is something that resonated pretty much with me. I have a pretty big team, and every time we open position, 95% of applicants are men. We are missing diversity, and we are missing the other half of the pool. If they never saw a woman engineer, it's more difficult for them to imagine they can be one. Developing your career is how you contribute, how you give back everything you have learned. Leading to me is inspiring my team to be at their best and dare to be themselves. Dare to disrupt will probably be my favorite one.
Con pequeñas ideas podemos hacer la diferencia. Don't be afraid to be disruptive. Hi, my name is Andy Redondo. I'm a digital analyst and I'm working to give electrical energy to communities of fishermen. Imagine that you live in a fishing community and you don't have electrical energy to refrigerate your production. So you have to sell the fish at a lower price. So since I was younger, I feel a calling to be part of the solution of this problem. And we are working hard to make this idea into a reality. Lo que me motiva es saber que con mi trabajo, con mis ideas y con mi vida puedo mejorar la vida de más personas. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Make your ideas shine and share your ideas with others.
So my story starts about 22 years ago. I was adopted from a rural village in China when I was 18 months old, and this largely sets the course for the rest of my life. People don't see beyond what's in their own backyard, and that's something I really wanted to change. I'm Maggie Grout, and I'm the founder and CEO of Thinking Heads. I was expressing my frustrations with why there weren't enough schools in the world, and I remember asking, what if we 3D printed them? We can build these schools more quickly and reduce the costs over time. Just being a young female founder, and then also as a minority, just not seeing myself in leadership positions growing up, I'm very passionate about increasing access to education. There will be a lot of bumps along the way, but it will all be worth it in the end. I realized that if I didn't have that self-confidence, that other people wouldn't believe in what you're doing.
I'm Ashlyn Cousteau. I'm a journalist, explorer, and ocean advocate. I got my dream career, and then I realized that that wasn't fulfilling me. I was trying to figure out, what could I do to help just make the world a better place? I met a gentleman whose life work was about saving the ocean. As the journalist in me, I started doing a deep dive into our oceans and into our planet. Climate change, ocean acidification, warming ocean temperatures, sea level rising, all of those issues are ocean issues. A healthy ocean would fix most of these problems. We tell stories. That's how we teach our children. And if we can use the power of storytelling for good, that's how we can change the world. Connecting the dots for people, connecting the dots, letting them really truly understand how much the ocean affects our daily life and how much it supports daily life is really what I set out to do every single day. We really need to be talking about these big problems in ways that show other people making a difference. Show women, show people of color, show kids, so that every single person that watches them could be inspired because they would see themselves. I'm leading change for women by making sure our planet is a healthy place for all people. We can't have sustainability without human sustainability. So it's gonna take all of us working together to make the planet a healthier place for all of us. I'm honored to be a part of World Women Hour.
Biding my time, been waiting in line. I've been so patient, but now it's my turn to grab what I've earned. It's mine for the taking. Been walking for miles, and now I've arrived. I'm here and I'm staying. Ready, ready, I'm ready, ready. Ready, ready, ready for it all. Ready, ready, rock steady, steady. I'm ready, ready, ready for it all. Would you believe that I've always seen it in my mind's eye? Living the dream, believing in me, yeah. Taking what's fine. Ready, ready, I'm ready, ready. Ready, ready, ready for it all. Ready, ready, rock steady, steady. I'm ready, ready, ready for it all. I'm so ready. I know they're asking about me, wondering where I've been. I don't want them to worry, soon they'll understand. When they start asking questions, tell them like a black card. Wait for your invitation, 'cause she's in charge. She's in charge. Ready, ready, I'm ready, ready. Ready, ready, ready for it all. Ready, ready, rock steady, steady. I'm ready, ready, ready for it all.
Every hour, minority women are especially underrepresented in STEM fields. Fewer than 4% are Latina. Under 3% are Black. Less than 30% of the world's researchers are women. And only 2 to 9% of venture capital funding goes to female-led companies. Only 37 of Fortune 500 company CEOs are female.
My name is Christina Cook, and I'm a NASA astronaut. When I was a young girl, I loved anything that made me feel small. Anything that made me ponder the size of the universe, my role in it, how vast it was. I didn't grow up with examples of female engineers or astronauts around me, but I was fortunate that I just knew what I wanted to do. Sometimes what we need to do is to see people in those lives that we haven't even yet imagined for ourselves before we can see ourselves in those lives. So I personally love mentoring so that people can hone their dreams and make sure that they're the right ones for them, and then those dreams will be worth fighting for. At NASA, we have a saying that it's not a marathon, it's a sprint. Learning that skill of turning fear into focus, learning that skill of picking yourself up after failures, finding that pace where you can bring your best every day, but you're not getting drained or burnt out is a really important part of maintaining mental toughness. Whatever pace you need to maintain the marathon of your life is the pace that you have to stick to make sure that you can bring that best self to every single day. I found that pushing myself to the limits, and especially finding hobbies that involve teamwork, like rock climbing, sailboat racing, ice climbing, and taking on things that seem impossible in the beginning, really draw me in. It's a little more fun if you have a team around you. If I could go back, I would tell the 20-year-old me, do what scares you. I am honored to be a part of World Women Hour because I am surrounded by other women with a desire to make sure that their stories are shared with the next generation of explorers. Reminding ourselves that failure is part of the journey, and that the more we innovate, the more we create, the more ready we're going to be, and the more the impossible starts to be possible.
Automotive and racing have always been male-dominated, but that's changing. Hopefully you will see a woman champion at the highest levels of racing. I'm Beth Peretta, the owner of Peretta Autosport, the first woman-owned, woman-driven, and women-forward race team in IndyCar history. So I started my team to show women that anything is possible for them. Most importantly, that we can work side by side and with men and win on track. I'm motivated by knowing that there's a higher purpose to what we're doing. You know, it's not trying to replace anybody. It's just trying to work side by side because we're better together. Women tend to want to be overqualified for something before we take it. I think we need to have the confidence to just take a gamble and take a shot. It's important for me that young women understand that they can develop skills that then allow them to be financially independent.
Choose something to do in life that will last longer than you. Take on something big. Don't be afraid of that. I'm Mary Woolley, and I'm the president and CEO of Research America. I had some bad experiences with teachers telling me that girls don't do math or science. Then things got personal in a different way. I was in a car accident, and I learned about the importance of research that made my particular recovery possible. So I took a job as a secretary to a scientist. So I do have that story of going from secretary to CEO. It actually happened to me. I'm constantly looking for opportunities to help people who can and will do more. I encourage everyone else who wants to make a difference to act. Do something yourself. It's fun, fulfilling. There's nothing really more exciting than that.
Not being able to answer a question is the first step in being able to learn something new. Hi, I'm Michelle McMurray Heath. I'm the president and CEO of the Biotechnology Innovation Organization, or BIO. Science saves. It saves so many things. It saves lives, it saves money, it saves hardship. We don't place as much value in science's transformative ability as we should. It's more important for us to think about how we build the fabric of teams over time and how we deliver not just that first deliverable, but deliver for the long haul. We need to have more plasticity, more adaptability in what we consider a successful scientific career to allow more women to reach that finish line. I'm honored to be a part of World Women Hour because it's a chance to highlight how many amazing women there are in the world.
I am actively part of groups that are offering resources, mentors, and opportunity to younger women, making sure that those doors are open. My name is Yvette Gonzalez. I'm a humanitarian, bioastronautics researcher, and spacesuit technician. Even though I wanted to be working in space, I was quickly converted to humanitarian work because I felt this profound sense of purpose in giving back. There comes a point where you feel like, okay, I want more. So we're like, how do we make this accessible to others? I know that women are a minority in this industry. And so we created our own outreach initiative to help young girls get involved and stay in STEM. I'm leading change by putting my concerns to action. If you don't feel like you're serving your purpose, there are multitudes to who we are. Definitely let yourself evolve. Don't be afraid. I've
always had a passion for ensuring that those who feel unheard are heard and are represented. My name is Tiffany Whitlow, co-founder and chief development officer at Acclinate. I came to my role at Acclinate because I was born into an interracial couple and given it for adoption because of my mixed race. I have understood from a very early age what it meant to be marginalized for reasons beyond my control. Women can lead and solve so many problems in so many ways. You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a researcher. I do this through lived experience. Who would have ever thought that all of those hurdles and all of the journey that we have had thus far is going to be relevant in making sure that we bring innovation to life. I do believe that it's going to take me and other women who look like me to ensure that young girls know that there's a place for them here. It's our responsibility to make sure that they are properly represented.
We can accomplish so much through collaboration. And as long as you're aligned on a common goal, you can do anything. My name is Makaya Dwogi. I'm the head of clinical development and medical affairs for vaccines at Johnson & Johnson. I wanted to be a doctor when I was about 10 years old. I was very much influenced by visits to Africa as a child, where I saw the impact of infectious diseases could have. I'm very proud to have been part of the licensure of the Ebola vaccine regimen as well as the COVID vaccine. That vaccine development process took under a year. In terms of innovation, that shows that everything is possible. In the field that I'm in, there's always the possibility of failure, and sometimes those failures are necessary to help you figure out what you need to do next. As long as I'm doing something I'm passionate about, that drives me, and for me, it's really to develop interventions that save lives. I am honored to be a part of World Woman Hour.
Science is cool, and girls who are introduced to science at an early age can really help transform the future of medicine. Hi, I'm Nikki DeAngelis, and I'm a compound development team leader for Johnson & Johnson. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away from colon cancer. That really hit me hard, and it really sparked my interest in trying to create therapeutics that could help other patients so that other families wouldn't have to experience this. Now a young mom, and was deciding at the age of 30 that I was going to go back and get my degree. I had some amazing women who lift me up and say, "You can do this. Don't you dare give up on school." There is no one correct or linear path, and oftentimes we are faced with adversity. And if that happens, it doesn't preclude us from, going on to do amazing things and achieving our goals. I am honored to be a part of World Woman Hour.
Don't let failure stop you from doing something. If you want to be successful, failure is just going to be part of that step as well. I'm Divya Kaur, a digital strategy consultant at Accenture. When we think about data, the first thought that comes to our mind is machine learning, artificial intelligence, and sometimes that's a scary thought. But data can also be used to help the people around us, to help underprivileged communities. When we see women in spaces such as tech, it's really inspiring for young women that might be entering the workforce and might be doubting themselves. Accenture has a commitment by 2025 to hire an equal workforce. The workplace needs to play a more active responsibility in the way they are supporting women. I have had some great mentors at Accenture that have helped me in my journey. I wish to pass that on to my other analysts, making sure we're pulling each other up and supporting each other at every step of the way. I feel like acting with humility and compassion plays a key role in leadership. Don't let the imposter syndrome kick in and stop you from doing something. Just go for it, work hard towards it. Nothing is impossible at the end of the day.
In places where women historically were left out, today women are creating history, taking charge, leading boldly for an equal future for women and for girls. But still, we have a long way to go. We can't wait for 135 years to close the gender gap. So the question is, how will you lead? This is your turn to lead for change, your turn to lead for equality, your turn to lead for peace and for justice for all. The time to act is now. That is why I'm supporting the premiere of World Woman Hour and this series, LEADhER. I invite you to find LEADhERs who inspire you to follow your dreams, find your purpose, and lead a new wave of change together. I invite you to rewrite the rules that you had written for yourself, reimagine the role that you can play, and create a future that is equal to the potential that you have within you. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." And in this series, you'll meet LEADhERs who've found places where they can make a huge difference. And somewhere there's a place waiting just for you. Don't wait. Be the dreamer who is willing to make her dreams real. Be the doer who will take on the challenges. Be the disruptor who can lead the change. We need you to be a leader of the new revolution, because when women lead, we lead to a peaceful and prosperous world. Be a LEADhER. See it, dream it, and do it.
Confident, committed, and capable. Eyes on the prize, watching the story unfold. There are no limits to where she can go. Brilliant, brave, and bold. In her own skin, she's comfortable, making her market incredible. She's unstoppable, nothing she can handle. Empowering girl she goes, yeah, she sets the tempo. She knows that she's gonna change the world. She's a boss, come down on top, no matter the cost. She's in charge, living large, reach for the stars. There she go, and you know she's running it. Chasing dreams, goals achieved, working cause she's loving it. Everyone falls in line when she comes around, like she's unstoppable, nothing she can handle. Empowering girl she goes, yeah, she sets the tempo. She knows that she's gonna change the world. She's a boss, comes out on top, no matter the cost. She's in charge, living large, reach for the stars. She's a boss, comes out on top, no matter the cost. She's in charge, living large, reach for the stars. I'm trying to fight all the negativity. It's gonna be alright. Just protect your energy. Ooh. I feel my head, I feel my feet, I feel my hands, and I feel my knees. It may be hard, and I may be weak, but I am the center of my peace. I'm in a new direction, gotta find my way. I'm in a new direction, I'm okay. I'm in a new direction, gonna make my way. I'm in a new direction, I'm okay. Ooh. me opening all up these parts of myself. I don't know, I'm not here. In this bad train of thought, I can't get myself off. I'm spiraling out of my lonely. Tell me that it's fine. It's just matter over mind. It's a matter of your time. You will get there. Though the future isn't sure, they keep closing all the doors. I don't know where I should go, but I'm on my way. Never thought I'd be stuck crying on the floor. I need to feel the air in my lungs. Close my eyes till I'm not scared anymore. I bet on me 'cause I know I'm meant to run. Today's the day I break away. Don't care if I fall. I breathe it in, I feel the wind. I let myself go. Was born to fly, I'm on the rise, feel it in my soul. I know that I am made to run. Sunday evening again, and this time I know who I am and what I'm meant to be. Another weekend, a new me begins. I will never stop believing. I know that I'll be fine. It's just matter over mine. If I'm patient with my time, I will get there. Though the future isn't sure, I'm worthy of so much more. I know good things are in store, and I'm on my way. Never thought I'd be stuck crying on the floor. I need to feel the air in my lungs. Close my eyes till I'm not scared anymore. I bet on me 'cause I know I'm made to run. Today's the day I break away. Don't care if I fall. I breathe it in, I feel the wind. I let myself go. Was born to fly, I'm on the rise, feel it in my soul. I know that I am made to run.
Was down, it was Beyonce. Now I'm on the run like Beyonce. I'm not who I was, I continue to grow. Gonna run this industry and straight to the O. I was made to rise, so I got off the floor. When they ain't let me in, I built my own door. I was quavering, upset, now I'm on setting. Take off like the Migos, now we jet setting.